Okay, so we are talking with Chris, who is Tammy's husband. Tammy, of course, going to Project Runway in New York. And now you are on the police force as well.
Yes.
With Tammy. Now,
Yes.
how long did you guys know each other before you started dating?
I don't know, a while. I don't know how long it was. Like, I saw her one time while we were working, and then I don't know, just occasionally ran into her a few times while we were working, and then just went from there.
So what'd you do? How'd you ask her out?
Oh,
Or how'd you decide to ask her out?
I tell you the truth, I don't remember.
It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So what is it like working together?
Typically, like, we have always been on different shifts and stuff. I'm a lieutenant and she's a patrol officer. Now this year is the first year that we're on the same shift, and so luckily there's supervisory wise there's a separation because I've got 6 or 5 sergeants that work under me, and then they supervise her. So
you don't have to.
Kind of works out that
you don't have to supervise her at
directly
work.
supervise her.
Right.
Even though I'm a supervisor over the shift, then I don't have to directly supervise her.
So that has to help out.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, that helps with the work stuff. Yes.
Right. So when she first got diagnosed, I mean, how did she tell you? Were you there when she got the phone call?
Yes, I mean that was all kind of a blur. I remember she felt a lump, and then she went in for the mammogram, and then we were kind of anxiously awaiting to hear about that. She has a relative that is involved in the breast cancer field, and she consulted with her some, and she kind of told her what to expect. And then we got a phone call that said, come in, we'd like to talk to you. And her relative said that means there's something, to it.
Right.
So we were pretty nervous. We went in, met with Dr. Mai, and, found out the next step. I think, I don't remember what you call it, the needle.
Right.
And that came back, I think, positive.
The biopsy.
Yeah, the needle biopsy came back positive. So,
It just kind of kept
kind
going,
of ramped up
going,
to
right?
where we didn't know, and then some more stuff, and then they, I think they did the lumpectomy at some point. Like I said, it was really a blur. I mean,
Right.
We had just finished building the house.
Right.
I had just finished, during the time I was building the house, I was in command staff school, which is supposed to be like kind of an intense schooling thing. And so it was like boom, boom, and then the cancer stuff, and there was no break in between. So it was a pretty stressful time in our lives, and then this just kept developing, and then
because you didn't even have time to process it. It's kind of like, here's your appointment, here's the surgery, here's this.
I mean, they kind of move pretty quick, and I understand that, to get till they know how serious it is and how how far it's advanced, I guess. And so that stuff was like you said, boom, 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 and then we talked about some stuff, and talked with Dr. Mai, and Tammy decided on the double mastectomy.
Right.
She didn't want to worry about it coming back.
And how did you feel about it? Like, did you help her make that decision, or was that something you just left up to her?
I mean, it was really up to her.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to support her, whatever she chose at that point. I mean, that was it's her body, her choice, her life, and that. I was pretty supportive. I thought that was probably the right decision, rather than have to worry constantly and continue to go in and get mammograms and all that, and constantly worry about that coming back in the other breast. So that was her call, and then we really, at least I didn't really know what to expect for the reconstruction end of it. They, like you said, they did the lymphdectomy, and it hadn't spread to her lymph nodes, so that was positive. And then the more we talked to Dr. Mai, the
variant.
She'd have ATM gene variant, but it wasn't to where it was just a variant,
Right.
And so that was different than having the actual bad gene or whatever. But it did increase some other risks and stuff. So I don't know. It was like I said, that the whole part was a blur, and then she decided on the double, and then we went through the surgery, and then there was the period of time after the surgery. It was the basically taking care of her for a while, and then she talked to Dr. Summer about the reconstruction end of it. And actually, I had went to high school with Dr. Summer, so
Oh, did you really?
yeah, so we graduated.
Oh, I went to Springfield High School. You went to
Southeast.
Southeast, did
Yeah,
you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we graduated together.
Right. Oh,
And-
she's amazing.
And so I was familiar with her. And
Right.
that I think made me feel more comfortable.
Right.
I was familiar with SIU plastics through my daughter, who had a born with a cleft lip, and so. Actually, her first surgery was done by Dr. Summer's dad at Owens
Right.
and so I was pretty comfortable with the
How
plastic
everything-
surgery end of it.
Now, as you guys went through this, because I think a lot of times we do, I mean, rightly so, we focus on the person with the breast cancer and going through the procedures, but sometimes we kind of forget how much their support person or their spouse kind of goes through this.
You definitely
too.
you definitely go through it with them. I mean, at least I did. I mean, it was stressful. It was you're worrying. The unknown
Right.
is a lot of stress on both of you. And she did really well in the surgery. And then, like I said, I think knowing Dr. Summer helped once we got to the reconstruction side of it, and then a lot of decisions were made at that point. Do you save the nipple? Do you not? Do you even do the reconstruction?
Right.
And that was pretty much Tammy's decision. I think she felt more comfortable trying the reconstruction than that, and that was I was good with either way. I just was happy that they told us that they got the cancer.
Everything out.
They got all
right.
the cancer out,
Right.
and that they didn't expect it to come back at all.
So we had a similar event actually at Dannenberger Winery this past fall, an event where we were able to use Dana
Yes.
came to our area, and we kind of had a local fashion show. And I tell you, as much as I watched the women coming down the runway, I really watched their support person, and I saw you.
Yeah, that's fine.
What was that like, watching her come out?
I mean, it was awesome to see her. That moment she came out. She was. I mean, Tammy. Her personality. She's feisty, bubbly.
Right.
So to see her, but then at the same time, it was super emotional for
Right.
me. And for her too. So as soon as I saw her start to tear up, and that triggered me, and it was very, very more emotional than I would have ever expected that moment, So
Do you think, do you see that maybe she has more confidence, or has she somehow changed from that experience, or maybe even how you see her? Do you think?
well, when she first told me she was going to do the local one, I told myself there's no way.
Why, just because it's Tammy and you thought?
Just she even though she's feisty and bubbly, she's a pretty private person.
Right.
So, and I didn't know what to expect as far as what they were gonna have her wear. I know she did this stuff. She didn't really tell me
a whole lot.
about the outfits
Right.
and the board that
Right.
they all had made. So I didn't know a whole lot until we got there, and then the moment when she
came out. So that was all like, whoa.
Yes. And but her personality at the same time, like I said, she's a pretty private person as far as that, and she, I guess self-conscious about her body and that, and so when they first said she was gonna, I was like, "There's no
way, no way." Yeah.
And then it was as it got closer, she started. She went to a couple things, and then fitting, and it just kept going. I was like, oh, I guess she's gonna do it.
So, and now going to New York, I mean, this is kind of even a grander, event and a coming out, so to speak. So, are you prepared for that, or?
I'm. Good question. I'm not super. Again, it's even more stepping out of her comfort zone. But I saw what she did there at Dannenberger.
Oh man, she was like
she
hot,
really,
amazing, confident.
She was really confident, and I was very proud of her. So I know she can do it, and she's concerned about what Dana's gonna pick for her and all that. But,
I'm sure Dana will do her up right.
yeah, I think I met Dana
Right.
at Dannenberger, and
Yeah.
she has a great personality and is very talented. And Tammy talked about her bras and the comfort, especially after the surgery and the reconstruction part. And she loved those bras, so that's pretty cool that Dana was involved in this whole process.
Right. All right. So we'll all be in New York together, kind of going through the process with Tammy. But we're also going to talk to you again, because, like I said, I think throughout this process, it's amazing to see the support that each survivor has, but just watching that support person kind of see that different side of their loved one.
Now that I know how I reacted in at Dannenberger, I'm a little bit concerned about how emotional it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not typically.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm not I'm a cop. We don't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah, but you're human.
Yeah.
You're human first.
But we've adapted to not showing emotion.
Right.
At scenes and stuff, because you can't.
I get it.
You can't be on an accident scene where somebody's hurt really bad, and you got to be the strength for that person, as well as I've got to be there for Tammy too. So to show that emotion, which you can't not in this circumstance, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. It'll be good to get it out.
Yeah,
it's very cathartic.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for both of us.
Right.
I'm excited.
All right. So we will see you in New York.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks.